I'm live. Sorry about the lighting. I couldn't be bothered to drag my ring light out. I tried a different option and it wasn't working for me, so there's some shit going on in the garden. Hang on a minute. Annie, come on. Annie, come on. There's been some activity in the garden. The cat went off chasing another cat that was running across the fence. Didn't look too serious. My cat was in this garden, the other cat was on the fence. But anyway, I can't see her, so hopefully she's okay. If you're here, I'm a bit quiet. I'm sorry for that. I have a touch of the coronavirus. Hey Scott, thank you. Hey Claire, me dear, sending love. Thank you, Scott. Is the sound okay? Because this phone last time I did a live stream, the sound was a bit shitty. So let me know if the sound's all right. I'm gonna bring this in a little bit closer. Hey Chantel, hope you're feeling a bit better. Yeah, definitely feeling a little bit better, thank you. I don't have the ability to project my voice like I normally would on a live stream. That's why I'm a little bit low key, because if I try to kind of like project a bit better, I'm going to end up coughing. So I'm keeping it low key. So you can see I'm holding off a cough. Sound is good, says Scott. That's good to know. Thank you. Yeah, so sorry about the lighting. I just couldn't be asked to get the ring light out. It's so clunky and annoying. So when it's away, it's nice. And when I drag it out, I end up leaving it out, and then the place looks a mess. Hey JC. So there you go. So yeah, I've got the dreaded Rona. It finally caught up with me. I was absolutely certain I was immune. I have been in close contact with people that have had it and not had any problems. So up until now, and I'm pretty certain I contracted it in Milan because the traveling, when you're traveling, you get forced into tight situations with people. EasyJet, when you try and get on the aeroplane, before you do, you're obviously at the gate, and then you have to queue to board, and there's not the space to do social distancing, so you've got people in front and behind you quite close, and then they kind of like push a load of people through, but they're not ready to put you on a bus to the aeroplane, so that you're all enclosed. This is what happened to me. You're all enclosed in quite a close room, all on top of each other, with the doors closed, and everyone's talking and breathing and stuff. And then you get put onto a bus, and then the bus is really packed, and you like got a person there and a person there and a person there. And then of course, once I was in Milan, I was traveling on public transport. Thank you, JC. I was, and then I went to the actual event, which of course it was really busy. Maybe the first 2 days, not so much, but then once it was open to the public, really, really busy. I specifically remember walking around and catching whiffs of, this is really gross, but you know, you're in this place that smells of massive amounts of perfume, but I was catching whiffs every now and then of people who were clearly surviving on coffee, and I was a bit like, oh great, I just smelt someone's coffee breath. And it happened a few times on this one particular day, and I thought, my gosh, you know, if I'm breathing in other people's breath, this doesn't bode well. So yeah, and then of course the parties, where of course once everyone's had a few drinks, you know, it's hugs and posing for photos and lots of loud talking. The music's really loud, so you have to get your heads close together and talk loud and laugh. So, you know, there's a lot of germs being spread around. I wasn't sure when I got back. I was pretty sure I was just run down because the day before I went to Milan, I had an ulcer in my mouth, and every single day I gained a new ulcer, and I thought, my gosh, like, I'm so run down. This is terrible. Like, an ulcer every day, and the last one was so horrible. I got a massive one under my tongue. I had one on my gum at the front here, and then a massive one under my tongue, and I'd had another one on my tongue, and then you know, when I got back on the Saturday, so I had to come home on the Saturday because I had work on the Sunday. So but then also I had a friend's party, a friend who lives just around the corner, Sally, she had a party and a hog roast, so of course I was going to go to that. And so I went to that, and I was feeling pretty good. I was definitely really tired because it was late nights, and a bit too much drinking, a lot of walking, and there was a one particular night where I got lost, and I couldn't get home, and I didn't get home till 5 a.m. That was quite horrendous. Um, so all in all, I was obviously really tired, and then I still went to my friend's house, and I don't know, I was maybe just high on life at this point. So I had a really nice time at my friend's, and I felt fine apart from tired. But then when I got up for work the next day at 6 a.m., my throat was killing me, and then my throat just got worse and worse, and I was so knackered. And I thought, shit, I've really like massively burnt the candle at both ends here. Now I'm just going to eat healthy food, I'm not going to drink, and I'm going to get lots of sleep, and I'll be fine in a few days. And then so that day was quite hard to get through, a 12-hour shift. Luckily I was at home, and then I literally went straight to bed once I finished work. So I was in bed by 7 p.m. on Sunday, and I slept. I had to get up to feed the cat at some point, but I basically slept for sort of like 12, 14 hours, and felt really awful on the Monday. And yeah, I didn't leave the house. Just felt terrible. My throat was getting worse and worse, and I wasn't sure if I just had an ulcer because I had so many ulcers. I thought maybe I've just got an ulcer right down like near my throat. And then the following day, I felt slightly better, but I definitely had cold symptoms at this point. So I had like runny nose. I sneezed a couple of times, and I started to get a little cough. So I tested, and I've tested so many times over the past couple of years, as I'm sure you all have, and it's always been negative. And I just couldn't believe it when it was positive. I was shocked because I honestly thought I was never going to get me. And it did, it got me. Um, but luckily, every day has been a great improvement. So today's the best I felt in a long time. So yeah, Corona got me, unfortunately. I seem to have my sense of smell, which seems to be okay. I'm just going to check comments. I've seen a couple. Tim says, "Oh, get well soon, Claire." Thank you, Tim. Yeah, the inside of my nose has felt a bit weird. It's like slightly numbed. You know, if you got an injection at the dentist and you've got that feeling, that numb feeling, like it's not a nothing feeling, it's a numb feeling, like almost like it's been affected by chemicals. Um, so I was expecting that my sense of smell is maybe weakened, but I just sprayed some perfume, and this is another weird thing. I haven't felt compelled to wear perfume. Honestly, like yesterday and today, or since I've been back from Milan, I haven't felt this any kind of need uh, to sniff perfume. And I've got a little a bunch of samples to try that I got at Milan, and all sorts, and I just haven't felt that need. I have sprayed some perfume here and there, and I'm wearing it now and I'm enjoying it, but I haven't really felt this need to spray it. And I don't think it's because I overdid the smelling in Milan, because I smelled a lot less this time than I did last time. So I wonder if that's slightly related. I also feel like my appetite's not normal for me. Like I'm going quite long periods without eating and even thinking about it, and then when I start eating, once I'm full, I stop. That doesn't normally happen. So I do think my senses are slightly affected, but not so far. Fingers crossed. So far, not to the degree that I've lost my taste or smell. Thank goodness. Um, Gerda says, glad you're feeling better. Thank you, Gerda. Yeah, and I tell you, yeah, the one thing, I am sleeping so much. So it's been 12 hours sleeps every night since I got back from Milan, which, well, apart from the first night because I had to get up for work, but since then it's 12 hours, if not longer. And I think that's helping. I think it's needed. I love sleep anyway. So, and it's just fortunate I have nothing to do because I've actually got my 2 weeks off work. Every 6 weeks I get 2 weeks off work, and my 2 weeks has fallen at this particular point, so I don't have to worry about work, and actually hadn't booked anything, no plans whatsoever for this 2 weeks, which is unlike me. But I knew that I was getting back from Milan. I didn't want to have anything else to think about until I got back. I was toying with going away again in this 2 weeks. Obviously now I'm not going to. I was also hoping to go and see my dad, but maybe by next week. I don't know how to know. So my face is itching. I don't know how to know when I'm, safe to do so. But I'll Google it and discuss it with him and his partner. But hopefully, maybe go and see them next week. But yeah, I didn't actually have any specific plans, which is really good. And it's quite nice to be forced into a situation where you can't do anything, and you're justified in not doing anything, because it's almost like you forgive yourself. Because often I'll say, oh my god, I didn't leave the house today, how terrible of me. It's just that thing that you do, like you beat yourself up because you didn't go out, you didn't do any exercise, or you didn't have any social interaction, or you didn't do any chores or whatever. So it's almost like you've got that complete carte blanche to do whatever you want to do. And today was actually really nice, a kind of like self-care day for me. I did a lot of skincare, facials, and all sorts, and I dyed my eyebrows. What else? I can't remember. I did lots of stuff. I've had a little session of reading this afternoon on the sofa. Eating healthy. I've researched intermittent fasting and metabolism, because I've only just learned something that probably everybody already knows, that if you have more muscle, you burn fat quicker. Just naturally, muscle burns fat a bit quicker than actual fat. And it's only because I watched a podcast, Dr. Rangan Chatterjee and another doctor. It's only a very recent one. I can't remember the other guy's name, not anyone I'd ever heard of. And it was about intermittent fasting and just generally eating and stuff. And it was really fascinating because everything he said kind of sounded like you can just do it. You can just introduce it into your life if you want, in gradual parts, but basically just spacing out the distance in time between eating. So you don't have to go a whole day without eating. You can just call it 12 hours, which is not most people probably, I would have thought most people do that anyway, but according to the statistics, they don't. So if you sit there snacking in front of the TV until 10 o'clock at night, and then you eat the as soon as you get up in the morning. You're not at that long fasting, obviously. But anyway, I won't go into all the details, but it sounds doable to, it's not like a fad diet, just like spacing out the time between eating and then eating whole foods, not so much processed, and also trying to eat your proteins before your carbs. Even that can make a difference. It's to do with the chemistry behind food and the way it affects your hormones and stuff, and not insulin, not spiking your insulin all the time with high sugar stuff and refined carbs. So really fascinating stuff, but actually something that anyone can implement into their life without it being too drastic. So because they kept talking about metabolism, I thought, well, how do I speed up my metabolism? Then I started Googling and I went down a bit of a rabbit hole, and now I need to learn how to build muscles. So I've been Googling sort of at home exercises that you can do to just build some muscle. So I don't want to suddenly, I'm not aiming to be a bodybuilder, but if I can just get some muscle on me across, legs and arms and stuff, then hopefully I won't struggle with weight loss like I do, because I do find sun's out, guns out, yeah. I've always found weight loss and diets and stuff a real struggle, and it's, and I do end up limiting my calories and finding that I might lose a bit of weight to start with, and then you have to keep reducing the amount of calories, otherwise you just don't get any benefit. And apparently there's science behind all of it, so it's normal for that to happen to people. So a new approach, I think, for me. So I've got my muscle vest on, I'm going to build some muscle. But anyway, let's talk about perfume, because I've been rambling on about all sorts of stuff. So let me know what you are wearing. And if you are in the chat and you haven't said hi, or you haven't sent a little emoji or something, do so now. If you're feeling shy, you can just, send a little wavy hand, or a random animal, or a random piece of food. But send a little emoji, otherwise just say hi. And here we go. Rich Mitch is in the house. Hey Rich Mitch, good to see you. And so yeah, my scent of the night is, and this goes back to Essence, and this is Date with a Dame from One Way Bridge Perfumes. So when I was at Essence, hey Yara, when I was at Essence, I met up with the beautiful Elise from One Way Bridge Perfumes, and I pre-bought this from her, and she brought it all the way over for me to have. Gerda is wearing Coco Mademoiselle EDT. Lovely. I wore the EDP on the way back from Milan. I sprayed it on at the airport. I was looking for the Intense, they didn't have it, but I actually enjoyed wearing the EDP. Wasn't too much for me, which I was surprised at, but maybe my nose isn't working right though. Simon is wearing Encre Noir Sport. Nice to see you, Simon. Thanks for joining. So, Date with a Dame. I don't know the notes. Scott is wearing Caron Aimé Moi Comme Je Suis. I've heard nice things about that. Is it a little fougere-ish? Is it? Excuse me. Date with a Dame. I have no clue now what the notes are, except that there is ambre in here. To me, it's I think it's a tuberose actually, isn't it? I don't know if my nose is working properly. Hello Fosco. So I smell it from here, because honestly I don't think my nose is completely working, but I can smell it from here. As soon as I sprayed it earlier, it's like, wow, it's really strong. It isn't quite hazelnutty in the beginning. That's the Amy Moi. Tim, I've been enjoying Fleur d'Oranger by Saint-Juton. Got it really cheaply from Old Beauty. Kate Moss wears it apparently. Yeah, I said that in my video, didn't I? when I started researching Fleur d'Oranger, I was really curious because I've smelt it in the shop, but I've never sprayed it on my skin. Maybe you fancy doing a sample swap with me. Let me know, Tim, because I quite like a sample of that to give it a go. Because it's got a cumin note, and I wasn't sure how strong that would be to my nose because it's very. It depends what review you read on Fragrantica. Some people get a lot of cumin, some people don't get it at all. Anyway, so date with a day is amber and tuberose are the only notes I remember, and it's got a kind of a slightly mineral feel, like maybe there's some kind of, I wouldn't say it's necessarily ISO super or something a little bit like that. Gives it that mineral tone, like pebbles, you know, pebbles on the beach, but not actually the beach, just the pebbles. Something sort of mineral pebbly, but it's I guess a little dusty, musky, a touch of powder, but definitely got that sort of like sweet floral, but it is nothing like a carnal flower tuberose at all. It's not like really heady, overly floral, because it's quite a lot of the more musky and mineral tones around it. I find it super sexy. When I had the sample, I was hoarding it, I was hogging it, I was just doing the tiniest little spray and just enjoying it. There's something really addictive about Date with a Dame. I'm just going to spray more on, seeing as I can't smell it. Yeah. It's going to make me cough now. Oh, thank you, Tim. And I think we had a comment there from Lisa. Hi, Claire. Hi, all, says Lisa. Hi, Lisa. And Drawn By's here. Hello from faraway places. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, just about. Thank you. Yeah, so I really like this one. It's got a little bit of sweetness. It's not like sickly sweet at all. Doesn't smell like my typical fragrance always has vanilla. It doesn't smell like it's got vanilla in it, but it definitely has a sweet kind of juicy floralness to it. But it is really sexy, super sexy. But I don't think it's overtly sexy. Like, I just think it's more an addictive sexiness. So it's not inappropriate, I don't think, for the office or anything like that. But it just has this addictive nature to it. So you might still find people follow you around and sort of sniff you from afar. But yeah, Date with a Dame, that's my scent of the night. And then I have a couple more that are essence related. On my left wrist, I have got, let's give it a shake first for the snow globe effect. I have got Nuda Veritas from Atelier des Ors. I love these bottles. The seahorse on the lid is so cute. And this was a very kind gift from Megan, who is the brand. She's like the trainer, and I think she's also she does a lot for the brand anyway. So she was at Essence running the booth, as they call it, along with the perfumer Jean-Philippe, not the perfumer, sorry, the brand owner. The perfumer is Marie Salamagne, and she is the perfumer for every single perfume, as far as I'm aware, from the Atelier des Ors line. And Nuda Veritas is not the latest one. The latest one is the Riviera, what's it called? I've got a sample of it over in the other room. It's called Riviera something, and it's a really gorgeous sort of freshy, think pomelo paradise, that kind of thing. A little sweetness, little tartness, very citrusy, really pretty, freshy. And that is the one that's going to be in the blue bottle. So I've got samples of that, and I'll definitely be talking about that more. But Megan was kind enough to let me choose, and I chose Nuda Veritas, and I have it here on my wrist. I think I'm going to sneeze. Hang on a minute. I might not. Nuda Veritas has notes of cologne, so not to be confused with cologne. Cologne is that melony seaside scent. Some people hate it. I don't mind it. I don't have a problem with it. It's got cologne and bergamot. It's then got a few florals. So it's got orange blossom and tiara flower and osmanthus. And then it's got, I think this one's got ambrette in it, you know, another ambrette perfume. Ambrette, oak moss, patchouli, and I'm probably forgetting something. Maybe one of the other, maybe another flower. I'm not sure, but basically it's fresh, but this also has a slightly mineral tone. Not as much as the Date with a Dame, but it definitely has a slight mineral touch to it, which I really enjoy. And the flowers aren't really heady. It's more of a, it's a very soft scent. It's really pretty, Scott. It's a really soft scent, almost a skin scent in terms of it's just very light, like, but it's not a pure freshie. It's definitely got more to it than that. But it also reminds me of you know, like musky irisy type scents. I don't think there's any iris listed, but it just gives me a feel of those kind of skin type scents. But itchy face again. I might have overdone it with the face masks. I might have irritated my skin a little bit. But the longevity is out of this world because I had it on before my shower and hadn't just sprayed it and then jumped in the shower. It had been on for ages on my skin. Then when I got in my shower and then I got out and then I was out and about for ages. I actually was perfume-less for hours, and only when I was deciding what perfume to put on, just literally an hour or so ago, did I smell my skin and I could smell Nudus Veritas, and I was like, wow, like that's gone through a shower and then hours after the shower and I can still smell it on my skin. So it's definitely got some cling on ingredients, but it is a lighter bubble. It's a summery kind of almost laundry fresh. Like I feel like it's like summer laundry type scent, you know, like clothes blowing in the breeze on a sunny day. But I find I like that sort of thing. It's really pretty. Obviously it's super expensive for that kind of scent, but I do really like it. It's clean. It's definitely very clean. Even though it's got oak moss and patchouli in it, I don't necessarily pick up on those, but I have to really get to know it a bit better before I kind of like, you know, form a full opinion. But I will be reviewing it, of course, in due course. So yeah, that's that. And let's have a look. So I'm not getting too many people commenting at the moment. Am I boring you? Oh, my feet have gone so blue sitting here. So I'm such an ill sausage. My feet look terrible. Right, okay, so we're going to talk about one more perfume, which is, this one was gifted to me by Elise from One Way Bridge, and I've got this on this hand here, and it's this is solid version of A Rose for the Miss, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you've got that, and you literally just put your finger in the hole and push. Put your finger in the hole and push. I might have pushed too far. Don't push too far. And yeah, I'm going to add more. Now I had a sample of the Eau de Parfum and I really loved it. And I actually really like this solid. It's so refreshing. So the note listing has rose. It's a New Zealand wild rose, I think. Rose, something called New Zealand harakiki. I don't know what that is. It's got, I think it's got some moss and jasmine. I think. To me though, I get a really soft pink rose, hints of violet in there, musk, clean white musk, a tiny bit of sweetness, like there's a tiny bit of vanilla, but not that it's a main player, but it feels like there's like just a bit of vanilla blending it all together. So vanilla, powder, clean rose, musk. It's really pretty, kind of like a boudoir scent. It makes me think of lipstick and powder. I can maybe, now I think about it, I can detect underneath a slight green note, which I've never picked up on any green in this perfume at all. And I say that because John Scented Snowdrop did a review on this one on his Instagram, and he finds it quite green. And I remember just being really bemused because I just didn't pick up on anything green, but I do get an undercurrent, an undercarriage. I get an undercarriage of a touch of something green, but more like a herb, but very gentle. Mostly I get pink, soft, fluffy rose petals, musk, powder, and a little sweetness, like a tiny touch of vanilla. And it's all so perfectly blended into this one ball of fluff, like, you know, this one lovely puff ball of loveliness that could be a beautiful makeup product. You know, if you scented makeup with this, everyone would buy it. It would be the perfect scent for makeup, lipsticks and powders. Honestly, it's just so pretty, but it's also refreshing. That's it. There is geranium listed as well, I've just remembered. And I don't pick up on the jasmine. If there is jasmine, I might have forgotten. I might have got it all mixed up. Yeah, I find this one quite refreshing, even though it's a little bit sweet, and it might sound not like a typical fresh perfume, but I feel like the rose itself is kind of fresh. Yeah, I really like it. It's so nice. It's so pretty. Itchy skin again. Drawn by says, hello, just woke up early morning, last day of the holes before dreaded flight home. Where are you? Let me know where you are, because you're, I know obviously you're from the UK, but where are you right now? One thing about Milan, and Clemence talked about this, if you're interested in Milan and what happened in Essence, etc., go and have a look at Clemence's video, her latest vlog, and it's really good, really fun. And but she touched on this, and this is the one thing, Milan is, to me, is not a holiday. It's hard work, and it was swelteringly hot, and you're in a big city, like you're in a, you know, a massive, I don't want to say concrete jungle, because like London, there's open spaces, there's parks and stuff like that. But generally speaking, if you're just trying to get around and get to what, you know, to different places and what have you, there, it's a lot of walking, it's a lot of public transport, it's just such a big place, and it was swelteringly hot, so it was such hard work. And if you find yourself lost, having to run to catch a, you know, a tram or whatever, it really took it out of you. And to me, like, by day 2 I was craving a beach, or the countryside at least. I mean, I went and found a park and sat under a tree. That was the best I could do. But I found it a bit much at one point. I think also because I was right at the north of the city. So Milan, if you look on a map, the centre of Milan is like this, and then you've got more out, like the outskirts. The centre though, I mean, to get from here to here is still going to take you an hour on public transport. and I was just out of the centre up north, like here. So I was up here, the exhibition was about here, so that was only 20 minutes on the tram. And then all the other stuff like the cathedral and like the places where it happens are all around here. So that's about 48 minutes on the tram for me there. Um, and I'd gone from the exhibition and I decided to go to the cathedral, and I just find it really hard to be out all day, not to be close to my own accommodation. So every time you need a loo, you've got to maybe go in a bar or a restaurant. You got to buy something because you can't find public toilets, and it's like if you just wanted to just chill for a bit. There's nowhere to just chill. You have to sit in a bar or whatever, and I just found it a little bit like overwhelming. I almost like there was this time when I was hanging out by the cathedral, and I just kind of like wished I was on a more traditional holiday where I wouldn't be too far from my apartment, where you've got a beach and space, and you can find, I don't know, you can find whatever you need. It was just like, and I was 48 minutes on the tram away from my accommodation, and I wasn't just gonna go home if the day was still early, because it's just such a trek. So I do find that hard, and I don't know if I guess that's kind of normal for a city break if you're a little bit out of it. So if I was going to do it again, thanks Tim, if I was going to do it again, I would pick my accommodation to be nearer to the main activity centre, regardless of where the event itself is, because I didn't spend all my time at Essence. I probably spent more time doing other stuff, and yeah, so I don't know, it was kind of tiring, and it had me craving a traditional holiday, because it was hot, and it was difficult to sort of stay hydrated. Like you constantly needed to be drinking water, and then that was another issue, like sometimes you can't find a shop. And I don't know, I guess I found it a little tough in places. So I'm not sure if I'll go next year. At the moment I'm thinking probably not, unless my UK Instagram friends say they're going to go. If Lizzie, John, I don't think Scott, you would go. I don't think you're in a position to. But if the if a group of my UK friends are going, I will definitely go just to meet them buggers, because they're so elusive. But otherwise, I probably will skip it next time. Not, I'm not saying never ever again, but I think it was a little bit too much for the likes of me. So yeah, but tell you what was good was the pizza. I think I only had two, which is actually really restrained of me. Elusive duck. Yeah. Yeah, I only had two pizzas. I think when you go to Italy, if you like pizza, um, then you obviously have to eat pizza in Italy. Lily, hello Lily. She's like, why use Milan for a get together? You're on the same island. Yeah, but do you know what? Trying to get these buggers together, some of them are a bit shy, and yeah. So I would love to have a get. We all talk about it often about having a get together, but yeah, whether we can actually arrange it or not is another story. Okay, drawn by in warm and muggy Seoul. Great place was PCR form filling paper wielding nightmare to get here. But glad to have done it. Needed a decent holiday. Wow. Yeah, bugger that. Honestly, I mean the good thing about Italy is there was no paperwork, no nothing. Obviously, I contracted the virus, so you may say that maybe they should have had some things in place. If they did, I'd probably be stuck in Milan right now in a horrible hotel. So yeah, I don't know. I count myself lucky to be home. um, right, I think that was all really in terms of the perfumes that I'm wearing, and they're all linked to Milan. Um, so yeah, I met the lovely Elise, and I bought, as I say, I bought Date with a Dame from her, and so happy to have that. And then she kindly gave me the rose for a miss, and they are my two favourites from her range. I do have a couple of samples now of a couple of the newer ones, so I will be going over those. I'll probably do another video on those. I've got a lot to do. I mean, before I left for Milan, I already had a lot of videos to catch up on. I've been hoping to do a live stream with Liz again from Papillon. We spoke about it quite a while ago, so I need to catch up with her once I'm better, and hopefully we can do a live stream, because I know that went down really well with everyone, because you all love Liz as much as I do. So that's one thing that's on the list. I've got some my new TRNP perfume plus samples to talk about, and I've also been meaning to do a whole live stream on all of the TRNP perfumes that I've got, and I'm actually going to rank them all and kind of go into each of them a little bit. So yeah, and then I've got all the samples that I picked up in Milan, so I'm probably going to do, I don't know how I'm going to do everything. um, but at least I'm feeling a bit better. I wait till my nose is definitely okay. I don't know if my nose is affected or not, so I don't think it's fair to review a perfume right now, apart from just a few passing words, general comments. But I don't really think it's fair to actually do a full in-depth review when I'm not entirely sure that my nose is on full 100% fully functioning form. So there you go. Anyway, I'm pleased that you're all able to join me for this little intimate, quietly spoken chat, and I hope that it was worth your time. Fosco says, looking forward to it. Teone is awesome, absolutely. I love, love, love everything she does. Uh, it is Steve, isn't it? Drawn by. Sorry, I'm sure it is. Yes, well, get well soon. Would have loved to have gone to Italy for perfume pleasures. Yes, I'm sure you would have done. Yes, so thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.